Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. A very good morning and I hope all of you are doing well. So today I'm going to discuss how we can extend OmniStudio range element. So we all know in OmniStudio we have out of the box UI element which you can drag and drop and build a custom UI and guided flow. But sometimes client asks you that the range element given by the OmniStudio is not our requirement. We wanted to change the CSS and we wanted to change some logic of the range element which is given by the OmniStudio, which is a difficult part for the developers are really struggling to extend the element. So that's why I am making this video. So let's discuss what is the range element, and now I will also discuss the agenda of this video. So if you go here, this is a simple step element where I have just dragged a range element. Okay, from here I just drag this range element. This is the input element, and range element is nothing but is basically to give a user to choose a range between a given range. I mean, to choose a number between a given range. So here the range is 5 to 10, and a user can choose any range between 5 to 10. Okay, and the parallel is different second OmniScript where you can see the color is changed. Okay, the color is changed. In my previous OmniScript, if I'm choosing any value, it's giving the value I choose in the same node of the element name. The element name is range 1, and I'm getting the same value as a 7. Similarly, in LWC, if I'm clicking any value here, I'm getting a different node called add stakeholder true and range value. Range value is not the element name. It's like this is like something else. So these values are coming directly from my LWC. So this is an LWC, and I'm passing this value add stakeholder true range value from OmniScript from LWC to the OmniScript. So basically, when I'm clicking any value, this add stakeholder and range value directly coming from my LWC. So I'm going to discuss about this, how we can add the color. So how we can basically change the CSS of the range element. I'm going to discuss this in this video, which is, you can see there's a difference between both of the element, right? The color. Second thing I will discuss how we can pass the value from LWC to the OmniScript. So you can see these are the values coming from the LWC. And the third thing, how to pass the data JSON from OmniScript to the LWC. So basically, you can see this OS value test, right? OS value test. I'm able to read this OS test value in my LWC. So this OS value test is nothing but a set value element. And in order to process the range, I need this value to be read in my LWC. So this value I'm able to read in my LWC. I will show you that. So let's start first one by one, the CSS, how basically I have added the CSS. So you can see if I will just click this design, and if you click the setup, OmniScript give us an option to add your CSS file. So here you can see I have added one CSS file, and this CSS file is basically nothing but I stored in the static resource. So if you go to the setup, and if you click static resource, so here I have uploaded one CSS file with the name of, if I click here, test, so you can see this is a test CSS, right? This is what I have uploaded by Gagan. And this file is nothing but it's just like one SLDS slider range where I have changed this background color. How did I get to know that this is a CSS I have to basically upload? So in order to know this CSS, what you have to do, you have to go to your range element which you wanted to extend, or you wanted to change the CSS. You have to inspect it. Okay, you have to just inspect it. Just right click here and inspect it. So I'm clicking, right? I have inspect this one. And here you can see I am getting the same SLDS slider range, right? Which I have pasted here, right? And if I just click this background color here, and if I go back to the range where I have not added any CSS yet, right? This is a fresh one. This is the one where I have already added the CSS, right? But this one is a fresh one. The CSS is already there, but this is a fresh one. So I'm just showing you how you can test that by inspecting the element first. So here I have to go to the background, and see the color has been changed, and then you can change this background color to chocolate, and then it will be look like the same, this CSS. So let's suppose that you wanted to make this range of this color. You had to copy this SLDS, copy and paste there in one CSS file. Just create one custom CSS file, go to the static resource, upload your static custom CSS file, and then you have to go to the design, and then you had to go to the setup, and in the setup, scroll down, you can see styling options. Here in the styling options, you can see these two options, style sheet file name. So if I search the test CSS, you have to just give this value, and this OmniScript will take the CSS from this static resource and will modify the CSS of this range element. This is quite simple. If you have not um, if you have not seen my video, so there's a video that I have uploaded, and I have basically mentioned how you can basically uh, change the CSS of an OmniScript. You can just see that. So this is a video that I uploaded 1 year ago, and do subscribe my channel so that I can keep coming with the informative videos. Now, second thing is actually I have extended this element because the values which is coming are different. This is add stakeholder true. This is coming from my LWC. How you can extend a range element or any element, I'm going to guide you now. So this is my Lightning Studio, and you can see I have created one LWC component. Okay, I have created one LWC component, and first step is if you wanted to extend any LWC OmniScript component, what you have to do, you have to click this that element, and then you have to go to LWC component override. Okay, and whatever the LWC component you have created to override this, you have to mention that LWC name. Okay, this is the first step. And now how I can know that what HTML or what markup I have to upload here? This HTML, nobody knows this, right? We don't know which HTML I have to upload, right? So the answer here is there is a file. uh, So this is the file, okay, which is given by Velocity long time back. Fortunately, I have the access of this. If you really want the access of this, please subscribe this channel and DM me on LinkedIn. I will give you the path, like how you can basically access this file. So here you can see all the markup, all the HTML, all the methods of JavaScript, which will help you to extend this element. So, so I wanted to extend range element. So you have to just go to OmniScript range, and then this is the basically HTML. If you open this HTML, so this HTML is like this. You can see this is the HTML that we have to put in your LWC, which is extending the range element. Just copy and paste and change this. Okay, so here you can see this is a C slider. You have to change with your namespace. So my namespace is velocity CMD. Your all namespace could be different. You can just find out this by going to the package installation header. There you can get this velocity CMD. Now, second thing is in your JavaScript, you have to basically mention the namespace name, and in the JavaScript, you have to import some libraries, important libraries. Forgot about this. I've just commented down this line and just remove this. So you have to basically uh, import some libraries. Like first is OmniScript base mixin. Whenever you basically extend an element, you have to extend your LWC with OmniScript base mixin. Okay, and second thing, the element that you want to override, you have to import that as well. But how I can know that this is basically library I have to import to extend a particular element? So for that, what you had to do, you have to again go to that folder. So that folder is really useful. If you click this readme, here you can see this is the library that you have to import. So this library, you can just simply import this library. One second. Yeah. So you have to import the same library. Um, where is that one? I think I removed that. So you have to. So this file has given us, this is the library that we have to import. You have to copy this, and then same library you have to import here. Okay, and then you have to mention during the extension, you have to extend OmniScript base mixin OmniScript range. These are the basic things that you have to do. Now comes to the point, I was passing some values from LWC to OmniScript. So this is the HTML that we copy and pasted from that folder, right? The folder has given us this HTML. We just copy and paste it, change the namespace, correct? And here we can see that when someone is changing the values, when someone is, let me click the preview. When someone is changing the value on change, this event is getting fired. So handle change, just use this handle change in your JavaScript. And when someone is changing the value, we are passing these two values, add stakeholder, range value 7. So here you can see handle change is here, and we are using one method, this dot omni apply call response. I have discussed this method many times. There's one video, if you go to my channel, there's a video how to extend an omni script using LWC. You can see that I discussed some methods. So this is one of the method which basically pass the value JSON values from LWC to omni script. So I'm using this method omni apply call response, omni apply call response, and I basically put the JSON that I wanted to pass. So this, you can see add stakeholder, and the same value is coming, add stakeholder, and range value. This range value is coming from this event.target.value. So whatever I'm choosing, this is giving the value I'm been passing to the OmniScript. So as soon as I'm clicking this thing, it's giving us the range value as a 9 because I choose 9. This is coming from this omni apply call response. Now the third thing, I told you, right? I was able to read this Omnis OS value test, right? OS value test, I was able to read it. If I just go to inspect, okay, and if I let me refresh first. Let me refresh first. So basically, I have used one pub sub mechanism to read the JSON of the OmniScript in my LWC. Okay, so it's taking longer time, and click preview. So when I'm clicking preview, you must be able to see the console value. Can you see this console? Can you see this console? This pub sub step data test. So this test is nothing but this test is this OS value test. I'm printing because I wanted to see that this value is in the OmniScript, but this value is in the JavaScript. How I'm able to read this? Because I use a console.log, right? So I use console.log here. Okay, I'm taking the data from OmniScript and I'm printing it, whether I'm able to read this value, OmniScript value in my JavaScript or not. So how I'm able to read this? So for that, basically, we have used this pub-sub mechanism. So if you go to your OmniScript and if you go to the setup, there's an option. Okay, if you have to go to actually this step, and then you have to go to setup, and then messaging framework, and then you can see I click this pops up. Okay, and then I have basically created one key O data, and I'm passing the OS value. This OS value is coming from this set values. If I click this set values, so set value is setting a value called OS value as a test. Okay, so this value I'm passing to this. Where is that? 1 second. Yeah, messaging framework. So yeah, so I'm passing this set value OS value here, and I'm basically publishing the data through this new key, which is O data. And if I go to my JavaScript, in JavaScript, I have to import this pub/sub library. So if in order to basically subscribe any publishing messages, you have to import this pub/sub uh, library. And then in the render callback, you have to register this pub/sub. So I register this pub/sub and I give any name, right? I give the OmniScript step as a name, and I'm handling whatever the value is coming through this pub/sub, right? I'm handling in this method. So I have provided that the data will be passed to this method, and this method is getting the data, this data, O data, and then I'm printing inside this console.log. So in order to read the data from OmniScript to LWC, what I did, I basically enable the pubsub of that step, and I pass one node called OData. Okay, and then I import library pubsub from the velocity cmt pubsub, and in the render callback, I registered that basically channel. I registered this publish channel, and then I'm handling the value here in my method. So this is how basically I extended it. So this is a basically normal way you, if you any element you want to extend, if you want to extend the set value element, you want to extend the radio element, you want to extend the data table. So this is the proper way, and you must have the access of this folder. Please don't forget to subscribe this channel. I really putting extra effort to make these videos. And if you have any doubt, comment down in this video. I will try to reach out to you and will try to clarify all of your doubts. So thank you. Have a nice day.